The fourth part and last part of chapter 8 deals with some continuation of this idea of the strategic approach to branding in sports. And I want to give you a couple of case studies, some unique things. The first thing I want to talk about is this idea of online branding. Many organizations throughout the early 2000s and mid 2000s and early 2010s really did not embrace technology, and you might say, well, that's weird. Why would they ever not do that? Part of the reason is many of them didn't really know how to deal with it. We saw essentially what we tried to do was just, if we created a website, people would come. It's the idea, if you build it, they will come, right? Well, the problem is people want to, and we talked about it in the brand equity part, people want to engage with the brand, and a lot of times that's through technology. And so many organizations, marketers, really didn't understand how to use both online media as well as social media. Because if you look at the history of mass communication in sport, let's take, for example, the internet. There were basically Web 1.0 versus Web 2.0 technology, and now we can say we're moving to Web 3.0 technology. But let's take Web 1.0 versus 2.0. Web 1.0 was when the internet was first starting to be used by businesses. Simply what they would do is say, here's our company, here's who we are, and here's our phone number, give us a call. That was pretty much the only thing that you could see. You would go online and you find out more information, and then if you needed to buy from them, you could either visit them or you at their physical location or give them a call. That's Web 1.0 technology. There was no interaction with the consumer. Web 2.0 we now started to see, and this is where technology started, social media started to come into play, where Web 2.0 technology, you started to have a two-way conversation through online branding. So a lot of organizations have, you look at middle upper management, have been in the business for years. They didn't grow up with technology. They didn't use it. And so you had a lot of organizations scrambling, trying to figure out how to promote their brand through social media. It happens all the time anytime a new technology comes out. When Snapchat came out, which isn't that long ago before I recorded this video, Snapchat was a thing that a lot of organizations said, well, I'm not going to do it because I don't really know how to use it or if it's going to stick around. Is it going to be a fad? I don't know what's going to happen. You can probably guess whether or not to use it now or not. But the whole point is organizations continually look for new methods of engaging with their fans through social media because it's important. We see that a majority of people find information through online sources and make decisions about sport teams, leagues, their corporate partners, and the entertainment brands that come from that. And so we're looking for ways to be profitable in social media. Well, other ways that we've seen traditionally online branding, and I'm giving you the example of the 2011 champions and the Dallas Mavericks. That is because I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, grew up in Fort Worth. But the point is, every brand has a variation of online branding in this. And some of it goes back to a few of the things in the 4 E's. So the first one's engagement. And so what the Dallas Mavericks did, for example, to try to engage with fans was create a website called friends.mavs.com. It's no longer really used a whole lot. Now, a more equivalent one you would see would be something for Texas A&M, as an example, called TexAgs. But any type of interaction that is hosted by the team, an interaction between fans so they can talk about the team, the things they're doing in the community, different players, and it gives them that opportunity to engage with the brand. The second one is involvement. Multiple ways to be involved. This is a screenshot I took a long time ago, because you can see that on there it's got a MySpace page somewhere in there. But anyway, the whole point is, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in this circumstance, friends.mavs.com, whatever it may be, is as many ways for the consumer to become involved with the brand is important for us from an online standpoint. And a big part of that is the word of mouth. It's going to Facebook and sharing and liking. And many of the ways that word spread is organic and it's not even paid. There are opportunities to spend money on Facebook towards a targeted audience. The same thing with Twitter and the like. But any way that you can spread word of mouth or electronic word of mouth is important in online branding. And then one of the more important things for the bottom line of any organization, and that is sales. Marketing is essentially revenue generation. And so one of the ways that you see every organization in some form or fashion gives you the ability to buy tickets or buy merchandise or buy whatever it is they're selling through some sort of online distribution network. Another thing that we see with online branding is this idea of customization. Consumers want options. We know that through research. We know that when consumers feel like they have choices, when the consumers feel like they have a voice, they're more likely to be satisfied with their purchase experience. Even if it had some negative aspects to it, they feel like they had ownership in it and it was customized to them. And so we know that through research that when consumers are satisfied, they're more likely to repurchase the product in the future. And so there's lots of ways that we see companies now give consumers the option to mix and match their products in a way that fits their needs. So I'm going to show you a couple examples. The first one is Nike. It's a retailer. Nike ID is you can go on and essentially create your own shoe. I created a very bad one, ugly one, but anyway, the point is I can go in and create a shoe that has a different color sole with different webbing and lacing. I can put my initials. I can change the color of the Nike swoosh. I can do all of this stuff. The whole point is I'm creating a shoe that is mine. We'll go back to the very first chapter we talked about utility, and specifically ownership utility. If a consumer feels like they have something that is unique, something that is distinctive, again, adding into this idea of brand equity, the more valuable our brand is in their minds. And so looking at this ability to customize is important. Adidas does something different, something similar but different with Me Adidas. They're focused more on personalizing your performance. And so while you can change the colors of the shoe, one thing I think is unique about one thing Adidas did that I liked was that you could put your flag, your country's flag, on the laces. If you wanted to, you could also put your name on the side of the shoe. But the whole thing is you can customize it. And this is something, so if you had some oddly shaped feet or something like that, you can change the size of the shoe that's customized to you. So the width or the different size, those are where you can do those types of things and help you with your performance. Another retailer, online retailer, would be Rawlings. I just chose that as an example. If you go on, you can do this a lot of different sporting goods, but one of them, for example, here's Rawlings. You can basically build your own glove. You can pick the style of glove. I chose basically by position. So I played right field when I played. And in this, I can choose the color of the leather, the size hole, the hole for the finger, whether it's a finger hole or an open hole like you see here. I can change the webbing. I can change the laces, and then all of that I can change the colors for. I can put my initials in, and I can customize it to me and my personal desire or needs. That's something unique that we can now do through online branding and a variety of different products. Another one's customization online is through ticketing. So season tickets. The Texas Rangers, I give you the example here, have a 20-game package where they can give you essentially different types. You can see the tabs there, the Terrific, the All-American. If you just can go on the weekends, you have 20 games on the weekend. If you are doing it for business and you're going to take typically people out during the week, then you buy the business 20. Or what we're talking about here is the fan choice 20, where you can choose the games that you want to play, that you want to go to, and they give you a price for that. You customize your package to your needs and what's unique to your schedule. In addition, now we see online branding giving us the ability to see virtual seats. Now it's not going to give you your specific seat, but what you can do is sit in that seat and do a 360-degree view. So let's say I'm a company that I'm trying to take out a client in Indiana, but I've never been to a Pacers game. I can go either buy season tickets if I'm doing that, or buy an individual ticket in which I can go, you know what, I want to sit where there's a good view, but also so they can get close to the hospitality area in which I paid to, the club area I paid to get into. I can do a 360 view to see what's around me, what's behind me, how close am I to the field, and I can select my seats based on the virtual view. So online branding is the first case I wanted to talk about. The second case I want to talk about is athlete branding. And this is essentially where we're talking about athletes who are moving away from the traditional, I go and I do a commercial and they pay me X number of dollars and I say come out to Bob's used car lot and buy a car from him, right? It's instead of athletes just going out and personally and just endorsing a product, they are now trying to create themselves as products. They're exposing the athlete's personality through marketing mediums to the consumers. The times have changed of athlete endorsements, and we're moving towards fans engaging with athletes on a personal level. So I'll give you an example of Ray Lewis, just because he's one of the first ones to do it. Many athletes do similar things. Tom Brady's a big one as well. But if you look at it, this is just an example of Ray Lewis and what he's done. Ray Lewis has created his own logo, RL52. You see that on several different things on his website, on his merchandise. On his website, he has a variety of different things. You can find out him, his favorite music, where he grew up, what he does in the community. He talks a little bit about his app, which is the next thing. He creates an app that you can go and buy. It's the RL52 app, and it's a workout app. So when he goes and does his workouts during the day, he may take a video of himself doing the workout. You can go do the exact same workout that he was doing while he was in his prime, or whatever athlete. Many athletes have moved towards apps to try to raise revenue for themselves, but also enhance their brand. And then also merchandise that you can buy through their website. And so again, different trademarked images. The last element of athlete branding we see now is social media. And one of the first ones that really did this in a way that was unique was Shaquille O'Neal when he was playing. You can see these images here. It says, "On my way to Barber Square, it's statue time." He sat down in the middle of Harvard Square, and people took pictures with him. You can see the image there. Obviously, he signed autographs, but it was a way that he engaged with his Twitter fans. Below it, he has another one that says, "Anybody in Portland that touches me right now will get 2 tickets. I'm at the Red Star Cafe." So within 20 minutes or so, somebody showed up, got to meet Shaq, and then he gave them 2 tickets to the game that night. That's, again, when he was playing. But it's a way that, and the first way that people really started to engage with fans in a way that was different. And athlete branding is a big part of that. And so this is chapter 8. Make sure you complete all your assignments before you move on to the next chapter.